Having been ordered in December 2020 and delivered July 21, 9 months later, my Troopy is in its final stage of building. And this is its first shakedown trip.
And what we do have are the gallards. They're an absolutely charming species of parrot. Hello boys. They are the equivalent to me of the yellow hornbill of the Kalahari. Always friendly and often come around because they're curious about people that camp.
The purpose of a shakedown trip is to find problems, cure rattles, refine the design, and even change the location of items where it's possible. Join me now as I do just that. I'm St Pierre White. Join me as I share my passion for building four-wheel drive trucks and travelling to the remotest parts of the world. These videos are made possible by contributions from Patreons. Join the Patreon family now. I've taken the road north towards the rich mining areas, which means oversized loads and long and mostly empty roads.
I have just turned off the Great North Road to a place called Yalgoo. I'm heading for the Carrara nature area for a shakedown trip for the troop carrier. I didn't get the opportunity to do this with my green troop carrier, and went straight on to the Canning stock route, and we found a few issues. They were all minor, fortunately. After a minute on that back on the road, I realized, looking at the map, that way round it's about an hour and a half, whereas that road, it's 15 minutes to my intended campsite. So within that 15 minutes I'll know if I can get through. Where is the road closed? Is the whole road closed, or is just part of it closed? So if I continue on that road, I'll know within 10-15 minutes if I can get through to my intended campsite. If I can't, well then I know that I haven't wasted my time. It's just possible that that road which links to the other road is closed somewhere along, or that it's closed to two-wheel drive traffic. If there is water across the road, now the road is not a four-wheel drive road, it's just a gravel road. If there is water on the road, it will be closed to two-wheel drive traffic because it's an unsealed surface. But for me, it might be 2 inches deep of water. So it's actually worth, and I went about 5 Ks, decided let's check it out first. Time well spent. So the area is actually a nature area. There is mining activity in the area, but it's a series of hills, range of hills around some rather large salt lakes, and it's there are some designated camping area, but I'm not expecting to see anybody out here at all. It's not on a tourist destination, not really on a tourist route. And I just wanted to find some time to learn to live with the camping arrangement setup that I built, and learn from it. And actually I brought some tools and a few things. If I want to make some few tweaks here and there, I can. I'm fully laden now, as if I would be on a trip, pretty full, and wanted to get a feel of the suspension, the shock setups and things like this. I'm almost there. I'm 2/3 of the way there. Assuming the GPS is correct, of course, because both Google Maps and Apple Maps didn't have this place in their databases at all. But I'm using the HEMA database on the Garmin Overlander. and I'm getting it to auto route me here, which I don't normally do in remote areas. Certainly once I'm off the track, I will just use the HEMA and Mark 1 eyeball without auto routing. I just saw a sign saying Carrara Rangeland Park, left turn, yet no left turn. And the GPS doesn't indicate a left turn either. Odd. Maybe it was just pointing. Maybe it was just saying, there's a Carrara there. One thing I have noticed is quite a bad rattle coming from the Max Trax table. My previous troop carrier had it over there. Never rattled, but did it rattle? I just didn't hear it. Oh, there's Lake Mungu, and it's just water. Wow! That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, you can't really see it, you see. But we kind of can. Well, that's what we're heading to. And you can see that driving to, just finding an arbitrary campsite would be a bad idea. It reminds me, this kind of thing reminds me of, there's a track, there is a track down there actually. There is a track down there. A place in Botswana has the same kind of feeling, slight feeling of apprehension and, excitement. Love it. I live for this. Absolutely live for it. Alright, not far. Off that road. We're now on a minor road leading directly to the camp. There is a single track of fresh tire prints ahead of me. Could have been that chap that overtook us. Very possible that somebody is camping here and they went to get supplies or something.
This is Lake Mungu's campsite. But I've driven a little further and I found this. Oh, this is much better. It's like a perfect campsite. And look at the lake there. That's a real, that is, mostly they're just kind of this reddish soil, and it's kind of white around the edge with the salt that leaches to the surface. And oh god, this is superb sherbet. This is an absolute find. And what about those trees there, camping amongst the trees? Hey, there's even a bit of grass, some birds. Now I can't make a fire, total fire ban in Western Australia. Absolutely no fires at all. Lots of birds in the trees. Okay, I'm going to set up camp. Kitchen. I won't do the awning till tomorrow. I'm expecting the flies tomorrow to be quite bad, but you know something, this time of year you either put up with flies or stay at home. I am still using the same table solution as I have done since 2011. I bought this very table in South Africa for my first troop carrier. And what I've been wanting to do with this, and I also wanted to do it with my Australian troop carrier, is have a system where I can slide out the table out of the top. Because before you lift the tent, first thing you're going to need, table comes out, okay. But I've not found anything that is really compact. I have to get load bars and then put the table on load bars, or the sliders on the load bar. Why can't I put the slider directly onto the rack? More of that later. But at this moment, I still want to do it. At this moment, I can't do that. I don't particularly like metal camp tables because they glare of the sun. I like them because they're light. This is not heavy, but this is actually kinder to the eyes. It doesn't rattle at all. It's slightly too wide for that, so I couldn't modify the top to take that table. But you know, and the way it goes in there, same as my old Troopy. It's so easy to get in and get out. I have two fridges, one between the seat and one in the back. And I have a beer, good old Australian Great Northern Original. And I have my sunglasses actually. I'm going to use, I like showing off with these. These are my William Painter sunglasses. Cheers to you, and cheers to where I'm out again. The sense of liberation, you have no idea what this means to me. The final parts of the build included the installation of the plumbing, controlled by a new version of the Egon water hub. This device vastly simplifies the plumbing and is an integral part of my shower system. My painted rims were fitted with a new set of Falcon mud terrain tyres. Heiner helped me with some wiring of my spot lamps, and I fitted a new start battery. I've decided to change the standard battery over. I don't trust it. It's let me down twice. Doesn't seem to hold a charge particularly well. So, but these are dual. Does that actually mean anything, or is that just a sales pitch?
Nah, it is a battery with the same technology that you get in idle start-stop cars. So they're called a hybrid battery. They have got some AGM technology in them. So you can imagine when you got an idle start-stop car, you might be standing at the traffic lights for 10 minutes, but the radio is still playing, the lights have to be on, maybe a seat heating is still on, the fan is still going. So the batteries have quite a good reserve capacity, so that after those 10 minutes, you can still start the engine. So they're really good for winching. They got really big cranking amps. This one's got 750 cranking amps, so it's really good for running a winch. And even if you've had your radio going for a while and you still want to start the engine, there's still enough capacity in it to easily crank the engine over. And it's got these seriously useful double pin posts. So they're really good to put something on that takes a lot of power, like your winch, for example.
Yeah, I was going to say
it. Screw it on. You don't have to clutter the battery terminal too much. They are our go-to battery. When we replace start batteries and four-wheel drives, we usually use the dual force batteries.
Okay. And to complete the electrical installation, Heiner will set up the Victron systems we've built into the vehicle. Hello and welcome to the very last bit of the troop carrier build. She's ready now to go touring with one thing that I have to do, and that is sort out some options for a table. First one is the MaxTrax table, and I loved it on my troop carrier, and the reason why I haven't fitted it on this one is that we were talking about other options and more versatile options, and they were more talk than action in terms of actually having a product that I could test, adapt and fit. And it's such a good product. It is so versatile that I'm going to fit it.
That Ta-da! Looks really good. Thank you, Andrew.
And I have to give a mention to this place. It's part of the detail of the vehicle. I've put in a very nice sound system, courtesy of these guys here at Car Sounds. And no, I am not sponsored by them. I mention them because they're really good at what they do. Good local beer called Great Northern. Cheers. And cheers to getting out again. It's fantastic. I just what now? I'm bored. There's nothing to do. My tent's. I'm done. Just I can observe the wonderful surroundings with flies landing, getting in the way. Ooh. That jet is heading south-southwest and it's on its way to Perth.
Time now to scrutinize some of the equipment. The first problem that has cropped up is the table fitted to the Explore glazing gull wing.
Yeah, it's a little bit high to be really useful, but that is not its main problem. The main problem is it prevents me getting close to the fridge. So for me to see inside the fridge is really difficult. So as much as I like it, it's not as useful as I thought it might. Actually, I never thought it would be really useful. It just looked so nice and they sent it to me, so I tried it out. But I, reluctant as I am because it looks so nice, will probably remove it.
But this is why I'm here.
Induction cooking. Let's see how this all works. You know, is it worth it? Now I have at the moment 200 amp hour lithium batteries and a 3 kilowatt inverter and quite a complicated and reasonably expensive system. Okay, it's certainly not the biggest you can get, and it is certainly far from the smallest that would be suitable for induction cooking. Somewhere in the middle. All right. So the purpose behind this experiment is for me, and hopefully for you as well, to say, is it worth the trouble? Is it worth the expense? Is it worth whatever it costs to do it? And I'm doing that by making a meal and then working out the percentage of the battery capacity, which I can read on the Victron monitor back there, will give me a precise, I look at it beforehand, it's sitting at 100% now back. I've just stopped here, and I can get a pretty accurate estimate on, when I've finished preparing my meal, what is the percentage of current use.
In a previous test, I made myself 2 bacon sandwiches, fried up the bacon, and used 2% of 200 amp hour battery capacity to do it. This is even easier, just simply warming up a pre-made meal.
There is a wind blowing, and it's having very little effect on the process. It can be very, very quick. Not quite hot enough yet. Because I'm here on my own, I'm going to eat it out of the frying pan. You see, I think induction cooking is going to be suitable for me because I tend to not spend lots of time, because it's not just about how much current you use, it's actually more about how fast can you replace it. So when you're cooking with gas, how fast do you replace it? Well, you can carry in your vehicle weeks of gas easily, and then you go to the store and replace it. With electricity, well, how much can you take with you? That's the battery capacity. How do you replace it? That's the capacity of the charging system, the alternator, or the solar panels that you have fitted to your system, which will then determine how quickly can you put it back? That's all to be considered. And the flies have been replaced by mosquitoes. Let's have a quick squiz to see what we're at now. We've used 4% of the battery and we're about done. So, what does that represent? If you were to, let me get a board to put that on. Those of you who haven't seen these are 4xOverland kitchen prep boards made out of solid Australian hardwood. This is a Jarrah one. So now they're available from the store, by the way, 4xOverland store. So let's think about that. If warming up a simple meal like this took 5%, then of 200, 10% of 100, I need to put that current back. How am I going to put it back? That is easily recoverable. The solar panel during the day, a reasonable sized solar panel during the day, easily recoverable. But this is a very simple meal. What I have done is I have a hybrid system. If I'm going to boil water, I'm going to do it on my MSR reactor, which is like a jet boil. So I've got just that and some small back gas canisters. And then all my other cooking, electricity. There's no doubt that boiling water is the most demanding on an electrical system. The most demanding by far. I've got mosquitoes. I need to put some spray on. Morning. Oh, a great night, really, absolutely. I woke up quite a few times, but it was just so peaceful and it was kind of a nice way of waking up. And when you're camping, you wake up and there's nothing's disturbing you. It's just that you're in an unfamiliar environment. Very comfortable up top there, and I'm going to go and chase some galahs this morning.
Thank you so much for watching. 4xOverland is truly independent of sponsors, and that means that our opinions, reviews and commentary cannot be influenced by commercial interests. Help us stay independent by joining our Patreon family now. Details in the video description.